Oh, what is up? It's a little bit loud. It is raining. We're going to wait for people to filter in. Say hi in the chat. I will attempt to pronounce your name, all that good stuff. We're just going to wait for a couple, maybe a minute or two. It's been a while. Wow. It's been a long time. Been a long time since I've been streaming. I will be bringing this back regularly, but not quite yet. This is kind of just a one-off thing. Decided, let's do a stream. I used to do these every week for years, but we're going to keep up and get back into it shortly. Say hi, everybody. I see Mike. Let's do it. Hopefully my audio and all that stuff is working. It has been, oh, look, T20S Grunt. Wow, it has been a while. He or she, I don't know, has shown up to almost every single live stream I think I've ever had. Yeah, the Guns and the Roses. Yeah, I actually literally just got back from the gym and was like, I don't have enough time. And my setup wasn't ready because it's been a while. So I'm like, screw it. Hello, Kirsten. What is up? Yusuf. JM. How is it going? Dennis. Big Gary in the building. Yeah, we're going to be switching off here to the screencast, and I'll be doing some reviews, talking about courses coming up. Yes. Once again, we are going to get started here. What is up, Kashal? I should just start playing pool, make you guys watch that. 67 people watching. These are rookie numbers, man. Used to be like 300. What the hell happened? All righty. All right. We are going to get started here, but first, let's switch screens. You're going to see something crazy. Let me minimize that. So as everybody knows, designcourse.com, my platform for learning stuff. I've been releasing courses now. What was that? 3 courses so far in this year. And the first one was a Wix Studio course. Then the second one that I released in February is a Green Thumb, which is a Rive course. I just want to make sure everybody knows that I've released 2 Rive courses so far. It's not too obvious on the site, but they're project-based courses. Green Thumb is one of them. You could check out the trailer here to learn about, the different Rive projects you'll use to create this. This is kind of like a traditional landing page project where you really use a lot of Rive. And then the other one that I just released, which is last month, is Project All Time High. Now, this was a super fun one, simply because it's a full Rive canvas, and you can actually go here and check it out on your own project. So if you click View Project and the full experience, if you're on desktop, this is what you learn how to make. Super fun stuff. This is in conjunction with Rive and Unicorn Studio. So yeah, definitely check those. Oh, 95,000. Bitcoin is hitting some, it's getting some traction. So yeah, definitely check out those courses. Then of course, I've recently launched, almost launched, it's not quite launched, my Contra profile, because I'm getting back into freelance. And over here, these are 2 projects that are part of my next course releasing in like 5 or 6 days, next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And it's all about skeuomorphic projects in Rive. And I know a lot of people they've been struggling with Rive and figuring it out like it's the most hard thing ever. It's not, but you just have to wrap your head around a few key important ideas. But anyhow, enough with that spam. Again, that course is coming out very soon here in Tuesday, which is what, like, I think the 28th. This isn't even working. All right. Well, anyway, sorry if it's a little loud. It is raining like hell, and I have a metal roof in my studio. It's like, what the hell? Okay, I'm going to switch back real quick. I'm going to take a look at your comments, and then we're going to start doing reviews. Hopefully we have enough. I think we do. Take a look at these. Good. Finally, I caught the stream. What is up? Bro's face. What's wrong with my face? I know. My face is a little stupid looking. Kushal, how will these web interactions be in smartphones, though? Very, very good question. That's what I created, like in the full Rive experience, the all-time high project course. I created a light version. Yeah, so like if you have like a full Rive UI and you try to use that like on mobile, depending on how much interactions you have, it's going to be probably quite slow if you really bog it down. So when it comes to the crazy, the WebGL shader effects with like Unicorn Studio or whatever, you kind of really just want to stick to medium to higher end devices. If you have a project that has to be used on shitty ass phones, I would probably not be using Unicorn Studio and WebGL shader effects and stuff like that. Now, Rive itself, yeah, you can use Rive on simple projects, but like a full UI on like a low end phone probably won't do too well. But anyhow, it's not a green screen. No, this is not a green screen. This is me. You know what? Let's just play pool instead. Screw your designs. Anyway, yeah, that's a big screen back there. But anyhow, Peak Mind, what's up? All right, you know what? Enough freaking talking. Let's go ahead and do some reviews. All right, so let's switch off. And I'm going to be switching back off because I had people in Twitter submit their designs for me to check out, and also here in Design Course. So let's go, and I haven't checked any of these out yet. Let's go first to this one. All right, so the first person that I'm going to review is from Hewer. All right, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But anyhow, been waiting for your reviews for some time. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Again, I've never seen this before. Let's check it out. Now, before I give my thoughts real quick, I'm going to make sure, because I've been rusty. I'm going to make sure that you guys can all see. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So let's refresh and take a look at what's happening here exactly. All right, open for projects. All right, design that converts without the wait. I love it. I love the good headline, good ad copy. That's something that a lot of people have harped on in the past many times. Don't just put your headline as something like "I'm a web developer, UI UX designer." Like it's like boring. Come on, learn some ad copy. This is good. We help SaaS and B2B startups stand out with premium design that drive real results fast. Book your intro call. All right, this is an interesting choice of color right here. Book your intro call. But you know what? I don't think it's bad because it really draws your attention. Pink on green, it's like, what the hell is that? But you know what? It would probably, if you put this through A/B split testing, it would probably do quite well. Now, one thing I'm not sure about that stroke there, though. We'll see. So far, let's see what else. Very nice. This was a little bit of a simple area, but it's solid design enough it makes me want to scroll down more just to see what's happening here. Book a call, book your intro call, pricing, maybe have a hint of work to present work in some way, shape, or form, or a direction to check out the work, because they're not going to book a call until they see the work. But it's a good thing once you scroll down, you have a nice little bit of a locomotive smooth scroll occurring here. That's fine. And some animation. I like it so far. All right, let's keep on going. All right, it looks like you're showing me multiple projects kind of just by changing this status here. Part of me wants to be able to click on them, check them out a little bit more, but let's see what else happens. Why SaaS and B2B layers to use convert clicks. All right, high conversions. Pretty good here. Might want to bump up the size of the title versus the subtext right here, just a little bit to create a little bit more typographic visual hierarchy. I feel like a broken record. It's the first time I've said that phrase in a million years, it feels like. But yeah, typographic visual hierarchy, very important to start. You have it established pretty well, but I think a little bit more in these cards. All right, nothing random. It looks like, all right. Okay. So I'm kind of just go through this a little bit quickly so I'm not taking too much time. All right. So what I would like to see a little bit more, for you to elaborate a little bit more, is the work section. Show me random project. Show me a random project. Now, the problem is I can't really, it looks like these are all just kind of like, I can't check them out live. I can't like check out like a Figma prototype or something. So I would like to see you expand a little bit more and present the work a little bit in a way that I can check it out on my own browser if possible. That would be most ideal. But other than that, I like the interactions, pretty solid, good headline, good hero section. Yeah, very solid. Let's continue on for the next one. We'll switch back this time to Discord. And once again, I need to make sure everything's going smoothly. So I'm checking out the comments here. JVS, my partner, how is that going? Bro, this design is so damn good. Very nice. Okay, let's go back. Let's check out another one. This is from Debas. Orgament. Orgament. That's an interesting name. All right. Let's refresh. Any type of animation. You know what? It might make sense because I know I'm on the side of the screen to like do this. There we go. Might be able to see it better. Refresh. Okay. No animation of any sort. That's okay. I'm not saying that you have to. We have a logo graphic here, it looks like. All right. Task management made easy. Manage groups and personal tasks with Orgament. Create groups, track progress, and get things done together with AI assistance. All right. So for this page, pretty solid. Get it on Google Play, download App Store, clear call to actions with nice little interactions on there on hover. Fairly simple. Let's scroll down before I give all my opinions here. See what else is happening. Who can use Orgament? All right, it's designed for any team. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not responding too much. I'm actually, what I see here, I don't see anything that's blatantly wrong in terms of the UI fundamentals. Click on this, see what this happens. It'd be nice to have a little hover state over these buttons, but no big deal. Nice little section here. Download today. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing groundbreaking happening. There's not a ton of interaction, which it doesn't need. I know we're kind of moving to that space right now, but in terms of what I see here, I don't really see anything too wrong. Not sure if I would put the symbolism here. It might be cool to take this hero section and maybe try to feature a section where you show the app UI in some way in a unique context, not just a damn screenshot, but something where maybe you have interactivity and show the process of what it looks like when you're adding a task manager. What makes it easy? Show us in the hero section. And I think you might have a little bit better results depending on when and if how you choose to test this. All right, let's go ahead and switch off. This time I'm going to go back to Twitter, or X rather. All right, Nikita Petrov. All right, hello Gary. My portfolio is still a work in progress. No full case studies yet, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on the overall structure in the award section animation. All right. So award structure, animation, let's check it out. And one more time, I'm going to go back and check the comments. I need a better system for this, just because this is stupid. Oh, okay. We got, so how can you submit? Yeah, go to the X, or you have to join my Discord server, which I think I linked in the YouTube description if you're watching there. So probably won't get to it. Oh, look, I'm on the back screen. That was not supposed to happen. What the hell? It just disappeared. Okay, well, whatever. All right, let's continue on. Let's go back to that Petrov's design here. All right, refresh. Okay, one thing I would like to address real quickly here is this section here at the top where it says the name, and then everything's styled exactly the same between your name and the nav links. There's literally no difference. So I would change that. Maybe just make your name bold. That would be a simple typographic distinction between the type that's associated with your name and the type that's associated with the headlines. I mean, not the headline, the nav items. So if, for instance, if I hit F12, I could just do it real quick myself, hopefully. There we go. Font weight bold. There. Now that's better. You've established better topography in your headline, just so that people can clearly see at a quick glance that, hey, these are two separate things. All right. Next up, we got your email up here. All right. Now, one of the things that I really recommend, and I've talked about this a lot in the past, is, where it says when it comes to trying to get people to contact you, clients, or if you're trying to get hired, right? You need to make sure that they can contact you in every way possible, not just your email, because sometimes, like for instance, me, when I'm on my phone, where the hell's my phone? I don't even know where it's at. When I'm on my phone, I don't use email typically. I don't even use Gmail really. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm one of those weirdos that if I need to get a hold of you, I want to hire you, I'm on my phone and I click this, this is probably a mail to link, right? Well, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna forget about you. So you need to have an explicit contact page with a form embedded on the page itself, along with your email, along with your phone number, along with all your socials and all that stuff. That way you maximize the chance of contact. All right, enough harping on that. Let me check everything. All right, good. We're good. All right. So data-driven product designer with 4 years of experience crafting web and mobile experiences for startups and global brands. All righty. Let's check out what's happening here. We see work examples right away. Increased transaction. All right. So no full case studies yet. Like she said, this is a work in progress. Understand that. This is a super simple approach to showing your abilities. And you know what? I like it. It's not fancy. It's just a simple scroll. We're not even doing smooth scroll. You don't have to. What's most important about your portfolio is the work itself, not necessarily the portfolio. So the fact that the bulk of this portfolio is about the work, that's what people want to see. I like the topography that's occurring here. I don't really see too much that's wrong. You know what? It's been a while since I've done one of these reviews, especially in a regular context. And I don't know if it's just designers on X versus designers on YouTube, but people seem to have like elevated their design abilities, because trust me, I've seen a lot of crazy ass bad design in the past. Now, one thing I would adjust is probably these icons. They feel like they're from PowerPoint, like 1997 or something like that. I would change those icons because it feels like it just doesn't fit with the minimalist approach that you have here. And so these little, I don't know if these are GIFs or what they are, or Lottie animations. They look like they might be raster GIFs or something. But yeah, I would probably change the direction of those icons. But outside of that, I like the simplicity. Good job of what's happening here. All right, so let me check out the comments here real quickly, make sure everything's good. This is, hi, Gary. Hello. Okay, just making sure everything's still working here properly. All right, let's go back to Discord this time and check out another design there. Let's go back. Discord, where are you at? All right, the next one is APS. Okay, let me reduce the width here. Okay, let's refresh. All right, empowering minds, building dreams. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. Affordable and high quality education for all at wherever that is, or however you say that. All right. Okay, it's a little vague. The only thing I gathered from this page right here is that it has to do with education at some physical location. I would want to see it elaborate a little bit more on that. Empowering minds, building dreams, kind of vague. I would like, you shouldn't be quite literal in your ad copy for your headline, but also you don't want to be so vague that it's really massively open to interpretation as to what this could be. Another thing I will mention is the hero section. And again, I haven't scrolled down and checked anything else yet. The hero section, what I see here is dated in terms of design. We've moved away from this type of pattern, again, I don't want to be like absolutist about everything, but just to let you know, in terms of trends and stuff, we've moved away from using, the full background graphic of a photograph. In this case, it's the location with, kind of like the darkened. I'm not sure if that's built into the graphic itself or if you have an overlay with some opacity so that you can see this. We've kind of, and then having as well the hero headline and sub headline with your call to action underneath. That's a real simple approach, kind of dated. And if you wanted to get this a little bit more modernized, I would revise the approach here in this hero section. Another thing I would say is up here, your navigation, more white space between your individual links. All right. This is kind of a little bit too close. And how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's okay. But I would adjust that. Also, this kind of like, this is slightly lighter, but not quite. And then you have a high contrast stroke underneath. Again, kind of dated type of aesthetic here. So rethink the hero section. Again, go to Contra, go to Dribble, get some inspiration. All right, scroll down. At PM, all right. Probably have a little bit more white space on the left and right. All right, because you want to frame this a little bit more and not have it extend out so far. So if I extend that out, that's a lot of type. Even though it's big, I would just reduce the size slightly and get more white space above, below, right, and left. All right. You like my little hand movements? It's ridiculous. Okay. Another issue is going to be here, this 2-column approach. You separated them, and now we have this vast void of emptiness. It makes you sad a little bit. All right. So you want to avoid that. Coming out here. Notice this section, we're getting pretty liney. There's a lot of borders, high contrast elements, a little bit cluttered here. These cards definitely need work. One of the biggest issues, the lack of white space or the padding inside of the cards. You want to really get these things some space, some room to breathe as much as possible. Let me breathe this in. There we go. And yeah, so definitely you want to go back to the drawing board as much as possible. Try to make sure you're modernizing your designs, understanding the basic UI fundamentals. I can't stress it enough. Absolutely important. All right, thank you for the submission. Let's go back, check out the comments here, make sure everything's still actually functioning. Hey, Gary, you didn't reply to me. You are my inspiration. Oh, I feel just so warm and fuzzy inside when somebody says that because I feel like a loser. All right. Well, anyway, let's see. Can we send links here or only X and Discord? I don't think you can send links because like I don't know if YouTube would let you do that, but check out the YouTube description. You'll see my, shit, someone's calling me. My phone's way over there. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Yeah, only on X and Discord. And by the way, I'm probably not going to be able to get to all of them. I never did, like when I used to do these in the past. So when I release a regular schedule, which I'm going to do very shortly, then you'll be able to get your stuff reviewed and you'll be able to plan for it. Right now, this is just like off the cuff type of stuff. Let us check this out. I'm going to check out a few more questions here. Is there other platform that people watching than Twitch, or is it only me here? Oh, there's some people on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I use StreamYard to syndicate, and so I'm streaming right now to X, YouTube, and Twitch. LinkedIn, I was going to stream there, but it got all jacked up. All right. I see some Kemper profile amps. Do you like them more than classic tube amps? Yeah, there's 2 of them. Yes, because it sounds great and it's easy to record them. I don't have to deal with microphones. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, let's get back to the actual reviews. If anybody of you have questions, I'm going to be checking out the chat here. I'll feature them and try to answer them. So if you have questions for me, I'm going to be answering more questions near the end of the stream. But now let's go back and do some reviews. Yeah. All righty. Sounds exciting. Let me close some of these out, and then we'll check this. Okay. I think the next one. All right. So this is Michael I'm just going to say Rodionov. Okay. It'll be great to hear you review for this one. All right. So this is a framer. Let's see here. Real estate investing marketplace. This is really, really content heavy. So I'm kind of like, okay, I was kind of confused because this is a portfolio, a personal portfolio. But right away I looked at the headline and I'm like, real estate investing marketplace. Like, what is this? I don't understand. I thought it was a, based on the title up here, this is a portfolio, but this is a portfolio project in the hero section. I would probably dedicate, you don't have to dedicate like a full, 100 viewport height, hero section, introducing yourself for your portfolio. You don't have to do that, but you still probably should have a primary headline kind of dictating what your title is, with a subhead or something like that. Because this right here was a little confusing to me personally. And again, if you don't want to have a headline or an intro, you just want to showcase your work, make sure it's a little bit more obvious that you're a designer and this is you showcasing your work. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. So yeah, it looks like you just went straight into your latest project in a case study format or wait, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Well, it looks like, okay, so you linked the wrong page. That wasn't your home page. It was a freaking case study page. I feel like a freaking idiot. Okay. Hi, I'm Michael. 5 years of experience in designing products from scratch, as well as improving existing ones. I set up design processes, optimize design systems, make your design and manage page. Okay, so you know what? That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, you should at least have, a little introductory section. And that's exactly what this person actually does have. So that's cool. Okay, good, great. We have some accolades here, or work heavy. This means that you are an actual designer, right? And you're not just designing portfolios all day because you don't have the work. Good. I like it. And you know what I really like? The fact that you have interactivity and motion in your portfolio thumbnails. I'm going to be doing that with my contour profile. And again, I'm going to be adjusting everything here, but my goal is to have most of the thumbs to be interactive and show animation and motion, because that captures people's attention. So yeah, this is solid. I like it. Looks like that's all we are. This might be just a work in progress here, but yeah, I like the topography. You have a good eye for it. Minimal interactions, that's fine. And most importantly, you have a lot of work to showcase and feature. One thing is I can't click on any of it. I might want to inspect it more or see this, the whole prototype. That would be cool if you linked out, or if you're doing any of this in like Rive or something. What I'm going to do for my portfolio, if I built something in Rive, I'm going to link them. Better yet, I'm going to probably just embed it on a web page with the Rive JavaScript runtime, so that people can just check it out, even though it's just like a quick project or something that maybe necessarily is just for fun, not for a client. So that's what I'll be doing. All right, very nice. Let's do another one. Let's switch back this time. What's going on with my, people just submitting. Okay. Next up is going to be Ecstasy Wonder. I've never tried, but I'm not even going to say a direct name, probably get canceled or something. Okay. Anyway, Behance. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a Behance portfolio in quite a while. What did this person say? No, nothing. All right, well, let's check it out. Services, UI, UX design from $100. Well, you are from Nigeria, so that's going to take you a lot further. All right, let's check out. Okay, just a quick view here of the portfolio project thumbnails. I would like to see you avoid like thumbnails like this. Like right here. Let me show you. Zoom up here a little bit. Like right here. There's a lot of text in this. It feels dated as well with those type of drop shadows. But I would avoid having portfolio thumbnails that have just screenshots, especially in areas that have a ton of text. Try to think about how you can format and present your projects in a unique way, rather than just slapping on screenshots with little afterthought, or with little thought rather. So think about that. This one, I'll take a look at some of these. Took a lot of time on this. That's good. Definitely can improve some of your the design skills here. Like, let me check this one out. Like, this is a good example. I would completely get rid of those types of drop shadows, the big blurry shadows. I know shadows and all this stuff is coming back, but we have to really learn how to properly utilize shadows and stuff like that. And so these types of shadows, they're going to really, it's just an immediate way for me and other more skilled designers to say, hey, this person needs to work on their actual skills and in terms of the things like shadows and blurs and glows and like that. And so definitely think about that. Over here, this is a big issue too, this little container. So if I were you, just to be straight up, just brutally honest with you, which is the only way we get better, go back to the drawing board with your UI, UX fundamentals and your basics. That means understanding from a fundamental root level, understanding what is contrast, right? How does contrast relate to topography? How does contrast relate to colors and how colors are seated next to each other? One of the biggest things that will kill the quality of a design is right here. Like if I zoom up and I see this shadow right there, there's grays mixed with light hues, like a light blue right here. When you mix gray, especially like a mid-gray with a light color, it's basically impossible to make that thing look good. It's called color contrast. So you have to understand contrast, color contrast, contrast as it adheres to topography. You know, understanding that this right here, this light blue background on white text, yeah, the white text is large enough so it's not a bad offense, but you probably want to make sure that these things are a little bit more readable by increasing contrast. And the way you do that in this context is by making the background a little bit darker shade of blue. So color contrast, WCAG content guidelines, contrast guidelines, understanding that. You have to understand color. You have to understand color psychology. You have to understand topography itself, white space, visual hierarchy, all these things. Go back to the drawing board and really try to, you can take my course or not, my UI UX course. There's a lot to learn from. I think you have a lot going for you, but go back to the basics and really focus on that. All right, I'll stop harping on that. Thank you for the submission. Let's go back to chat and check out what's going on there. Can people still hear me? All right, great. All right. I'm just checking comments. Can you give some tips on how we choose a great hero ad copy? Well, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't probably suggest this in the past, but the ChatGPT and the LLM models are getting so freaking smart. And it's like, ask ChatGPT about how you can get great ad copy or throw ideas at it. And that can really help spur what great ad copy is. And just a real quick rundown, if we're talking about headlines on hero sections for websites and your portfolio and stuff, and in general, when it comes to ad copy, especially with your headline, you don't want to be literal. You want to emphasize benefits. You want it to be wishy-washy and not literal. If you're somebody who sells shovels, put I sell shovels, like that can go in your headline to be a little, or your subhead, that could be a little bit more literal where you expand on it. So you definitely focus on those things for sure. Continuing on, just got the Framer course. Awesome. We listen to you and we actually love you. That's amazing. I don't feel loved. All right. What is ravine? Is that the right spelling? That must be from my different. Yeah. Real quick, we'll get back to the reviews 1 second. I am building a software for 25 years as a back-end dev. Do I have to learn React Native to create my own site? I assume it will look really, really bad despite a Vite and Google Polymer knowledge. That's an interesting question, and it seems like it's a loaded question. But no, you don't have to use React Native to create your own site. I mean, you could use Wix Studio, you could use Framer, you could HTML, CSS, you can use a framework like React if you want or not. So hopefully you would understand that as being as a backend dev. You can use AI or Lovable or Bolt to make your site. So there's a lot of options. Okay, let's go back and check out. Let's go back to Twitter this time. Let's see here. Where's it at? There we go. All right, Dominique Lake. What was that? Oh, okay. Well, never mind. We'll check this one out. Oh, got Contra. Let's check out a Contra profile. Let's do it, guys. Yeah. All right. I can't remember if I switched my screen yet, so I have to go back and be annoying. Oh, good. I am. Okay. All right. So, Abdul, let's do this. All right. WordPress developer, framer designer. All right. Wix Shopify designer. All right. You know what I would do? Because I'm setting up my own profile on Contra. I chose to put not just my work right here, but a stupid ass goofy look of me just like sitting here, hey guys. But no, I really think having your face, especially in like a cover, makes a lot of sense because it really adds the personal element to it. So I think that would be a good idea. I would advise people to kind of put their face there. That way you have the human element and people can connect with you. You have your work underneath, Anyhow, that's just one random thought. Let's check out some of the work. Wait, what happened here? There we go. Okay, let's take a look at the all the actual thumbnails here to see what we've got going. All right, so this right here, this thumbnail, which, darn, I can't see it larger, but I don't know if anybody of you, if any of you recall, like back in like 2015, 2016, 2017, it was super prevalent for people to do this little hard shadow, the flat shadow. And I used to do it too. And then also it was very prevalent for people to just take like little fake monitor mock-ups and laptop mock-ups and smartphone mock-ups and kind of present them exactly in this same manner. I'm not saying it's the worst thing that you could do, but it is kind of like a dated approach to thumbnails. That's something that's been around for a long time. Again, it's kind of like a small thing, but I figured I'd mention it. Again, this is kind of like the same concept with that thumbnail. Unfortunately, there we can make these a little bit bigger. Taking a look at these other ones. Okay. Again, one thing I'm not seeing here is any type of motion or animation in these. That's what I'm going to be doing. I think having on your Contra profile animated UI elements, or having your UI animated, or even if it's just scrolling down, there's a lot of tools that can help you get that, because you can upload a lot of different type of media here in Contra, like MP4s and stuff. That's what I'm kind of focusing on, just to get some interactivity. And I think that's a benefit and something to consider. Outside of that, let's go back. Yeah, I think in terms of your design work, I wouldn't put you as like the top of the top best, designer that I've ever seen. But there's also a lot of stuff going that's going well here. But yeah, hopefully that helped. Let's go back to, let's see here. Yeah, this one. All right, Webweaver Pro. It's another Behance portfolio. All right, let's check it out. Let me move my monitor for a second. Yeah, so like checking this one out, for instance. Yeah, I see some issues with this UI. For instance, if we look on the left side right here, we have the headline. streamline your team's workflow with FlowSync. All right. Would improve that ad copy, by the way. And then we have the subheadline underneath it. Collaborate seamlessly, manage tasks effortlessly, and watch your productivity soar. Okay. And then to start free trial. Okay. So there's a number of different things wrong here, typographically speaking, and also in terms of groupings and white space. First off, I would take this part where it says streamline your team's workflow with FlowSync. I would get the subhead, this description, closer to the headline. I would also increase the font size of your headline and probably decrease the weight you're using for the subheadline. And then that way, you're really going to reinforce that typographic visual hierarchy. And also, I think there's an issue with the white space between these four elements as well. So I call that groupings and kind of understanding how and when and why we add things or we adjust things, the proximity between elements based on their context. So for me, we have two pieces of type, your headline, subheadline. Those things should be grouped together a little bit more closely than the call to action that exists underneath it. But right now, it looks like they're kind of like in the middle, kind of like you're not sure, like everything's almost evenly spaced out, but not. So you really need to define that white space well. All right. Another thing I will say is these type of illustrations right here, they're out. We don't do those anymore if we want to try to be modern. I know there's so many different, these vector illustration packs that we used to rely on, like Humans. That was a real popular one. The market became saturated with these types of designs, and it was a trend, and now it's not anymore. So rethink this section and what you might do in a more modern context for your designs. Outside of that, looking at everything else, I would say, let's see here, trying to pick out what I think is like your best piece of work. Better headline section right here. I'm assuming the work at the top is probably the latest anyway. But yeah, solid stuff. Just some things to think about, though, in terms of direction. Let's go back. I'm going to go back here and check out comments, make sure everything's running smoothly. StreamYard, where are you at? There you are. Oh, I got a super chat. Would you look at that? Let me check out these comments here. All right, so love these critiques. I submit my portfolio on X. We'll see if I can get to it. I am going to start doing these streams regularly again. I'm not sure in what context, but we'll see here soon. So I mentioned that because I'm probably not going to get to I probably won't get to it. I just don't have enough time. I have to finish recording my course anyway. Remy, can you check mine? Link is on Discord. I can't add a link here. It's the one with Ruworks. Yeah, we'll check that out. What tool would you recommend for animation? Well, it depends. What is your use case? Where is this animation going to be shown, right? If it's on web and you want to have web animations, well, it depends. Like, what type of animations do you want? Just simple button hovers or transitions? In that case, you just use CSS transitions. Very simple. If you want to have more complex sequence-based animations, you might want to look at GreenSock Animation Platform, which is a JavaScript solution. Do you need to know JavaScript? No, because you can use Cursor and you could tell it to use the GreenSock Animation Platform. It'll import it, and I think they're really good for you to be able to animate your UIs through prompting. It's pretty easy. In fact, we end up doing that in my course coming up here real soon. Do you want to have like animations that are more intricate and, like even more so than what GSAP could possibly offer? Well, to take a look at Rive, take a look at Spline. Spline's really just released a new update where they have 2D now. Now, not only do they have 3D Spline, but now they're offering 2D with like state machine type stuff and logic and conditions like Rive. That's a big one to take a look at because they have 3D as well. So then two kind of like competing a little bit now. I'm excited. So yeah, there's so many options in terms of what you can use to animate. So you just have to elaborate a little bit more, and hopefully that was able to help you. Have you tried? Oh yeah, for sure. Gary, please make the live show every Friday. How drunk am I on a scale from 1 to 10? 0. I haven't drank in like 2 years and like 4 months, but I do like those gummies, dude. I'm like, oh, man, it's like 4 or 5 p.m. All right, we won't get into that. How design are you from a scale of 1 to 10? Oh man, I don't know. We'll have to see, because I'm getting back into the freelance design, the freelance game. So time will tell. I won't rate myself. All right. Let's go back. I guess I'll use this time real quickly to mention the fact that if you go to designcourse.com, my site, this year I've recently released 3 courses already, Wix Studio, and then 2 Rive-based courses and Unicorn Studio integrated in such context. Green thumb right here. This is a fun project. You can check out the actual project that you learned to make by clicking that little button on that landing page, and you'll get to see what's happening here with Rive and all the crazy animations that we can create in the context of a web landing page. This also uses Framer. So I show everybody how to build this. This is Unicorn Studio from scratch. That's one of the courses. This is Rive. So fun creating cool stuff like that. Another one that I'm doing is Project All Time High. Showed this a little bit earlier. You can check that. This is a crazy one. Desktop only, because it's very intensive. You can take this course now to learn how to make this in Rive, in Unicorn Studio and Cursor. It's actually pulling real-time data from cryptocurrencies. We're at 95,000 Bitcoin. That's exciting because, man, we were like, what, 78 like 2 weeks ago? Anyway, so this is going to show you how to use Unicorn Studio and Rive together to create this really immersive experience. This was one of the funnest freaking things I've done in a long time. So I'll show you how to do that. And then in a few days, on Tuesday, I'm releasing another course, Rive as well, with 3 different projects. We're going to create this gun right here, this gun kind of like configurator. Oh, this one is so fun. There's also audio. You can't hear it now. And then there's also this other one, which is right here. This is a more like simple skeuomorphic project where you control this light with a light switch, generating this stuff with ChatGPT 4.0, all these assets. That's going to be a super fun one. And there's a third one that also uses Greenstock animation platform and Cursor, and we use Rive, and they're both communicating together. It's crazy. I love it. So fun. Like, I'm telling you, design has gotten so, like, it was getting boring for me for last several years. Let me go back here real quickly. It has been so boring for me the last several years because it felt like we were stagnating. It's like, okay, we're flat design this, flat design that, flat design. The tools really weren't, like, there wasn't anything exciting happening for a few years. And like, content for me became fucking hard to come up with. It's like, how many times I upload a freaking video of teaching people how to make a hero section in flat design. It's like, but now the past few months, I've like been reinvigorated into this business and designing. That's why I'm getting back into freelance. I am super excited with all crazy shit that's coming out. So yeah. The bad thing is that not all of us have access to Unicorn platform. Yeah. You know, I've been speaking with the founder. It's a one-man show over there at Unicorn Studio. He's been working on it for years. Hopefully very soon he gets out of gets into open beta. And so I'll try to get a status update on that soon. But you know what? For my courses, you don't have to have Unicorn Studio. Most of it's focused on Rive and stuff like that. So let's switch back here. We'll do a few more reviews. I'm going to check out, and I'll try to get to JVS's review and also the paid review. Somebody gave me a super chat, so I'll check those out. Let's see here. Load time's a bit extra right now. Working on optimizing that, but curious to hear your overall take. Let's check her out. There is a little bit of a load time. That's not bad. Design in Web3. Design Web3 in some magic. All right. Let's just scroll down before I give my opinion, see what's happening here. Let's check the stack. This is a cool app extension for Chrome, probably Firefox as well, called Wappalizer. On your site, it just shows you what the stack is. All right, what tech is being used here. GreenSock animation platform, PhotoSwipe, jQuery. All righty, Linus Smooth Scroll. It's a PWA as well, progressive web app. Very interesting. All right. Let's scroll down. What is this? I don't know what this is. Is this these clients you're working for, or I would like a little bit more, because you can't click on them. So it's a little bit confusing as to what these represent. 4 years of detoxing Web3's dumpster fire UX. I like that. Designing interfaces that outlast the hype cycle. That's very good. So this is kind of a little bit type heavy. You could leave these paragraphs here, but one idea is to take this data, because you have 4 bullet points. Maybe consider putting those in a structured layout, like in cards or something like that, or some type of interesting way. That way you can break up the monotony of this large paragraph and have something a little bit more structured for that section underneath. This feels, I'll be honest with you, this feels out of place. This little collage section here. I can see it's slightly different color, but the typography edges are they're right up to the edge of this thing. So it feels like it's kind of just slapped on there. So I would rethink that. UI UX design. I turn your meh into holy shit, this actually works. I just had that. I had that own epiphany. The same thing happened to me because I started doing the whole vibe coding bullshit in Cursor. And I've done it for a while, but I actually tried to make a crazy project I would never try on my own. And like, I had it connecting to my video camera, and I had it tracking my finger position on a guitar neck. And like, I'm going to keep playing with that because I got ideas. And I was like, holy shit, it works. Anyway. What I've been up to. Look at me. I sound so stupid. I'm sitting here laughing like only person in here. Anyway. All right. I mean, you spent a lot of time on this. Yeah, just a few things. I like a lot of what you got going here. There's good typography happening, good ad copy as well, headlines. Yeah, solid stuff. Just a few things to consider. All right, let's go back. I'll check out the stream. Wait, where the hell to go? Ah, there we go. Can I refresh my twit? I mean, I suppose. Sounds painful. Started design hackathon. Yeah. I'm looking to do more collaborative things with other designers. That's one of my big mistakes that I made in my career, is not networking. But I'm starting to do that now, so I'm excited, especially being an active designer, or about to be an active designer, dealing with clients and stuff. I'm excited about that. Let's do a few more reviews here. I need to shave. Okay, let's go back and let's click here. Yeah, I need to go back to the, what do you call, the chat, because somebody gave me a live chat. Discord, it's the one with Ruworks. Okay, I'm going to check that one out. So I'm going to go back to Discord. I want to make sure I get to that person who gave a super chat. Where is Ruworks? There we go. Thank you for the super chat. Wrote this code fully myself. I still need some work in responsive design, but I'm on it. Wow. Somebody coded something fully themselves in 2025. That's impressive. It'll be way more impressive in like 5 years. All right. Orcs. That's an interesting little logo, because I don't know if what's the W? Where's the W? I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe just put the little icon and then put the W next to it. All right, just thinking out loud there. Yeah, I like this section right here. This is okay. Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. Okay, again, this is one of those things, it's a no-no, in my opinion. When it comes to headlines, nobody cares about your name. You want to emphasize the benefits and how you can help them. In an adept UI UX product designer, proficient in the art of problem solving, coupled with a keen eye for creating visually compelling UI. Alrighty, not bad. Cards need work. The purple having opacity to it creates these color mixes, and it creates complexity, especially because we have two different colors beneath it or behind it. And then you have with these titles, these headlines, these captions, they look like buttons. They're styled like buttons, but they're not buttons. I would get rid of that. You want to simplify this because people will think I can click on this to learn more about those features, and they can't because they're not buttons, but they're styled like buttons. So rethink the card section. Again, a lot of this comes down to just going out there and getting inspiration from other more successful designers. A lot of this shit's just all about copying patterns. Obviously not pixel for pixel, but hey, we work in a creative industry that has constraints, UI, UX design, product design, whatever. We copy each other, even if we don't know it. So get out there, really be honest with yourself. Is what I'm creating as good, as top level as something else? If not, why? Figure it out. All right. Or take my course. Such a shill. Portfolio. All right, I like that you try to be creative here with this this little 3-column, 2-row grid. GM Fleet Management and All View project. Kind of confusing though, because I don't know what is associated. Like, is this thumbnail associated with this project or this project? I don't know. You have 3 projects, and you do have 3. It's okay. I see. That was not obvious to me. You have little what do you call arrows right here, and this one's obviously based on there. This one's based up here, and this one's in relation to this one right there. That's hard to figure out. So you might want to rethink about how you're laying these out because it was confusing to me. Skills. This is bad. I was talking about this earlier. This is bad color contrast, in my opinion, for the card background colors. You know, it is obviously a different hue. It's more in the purple range, and we have a blue background, but they're not significantly different. Let me improve the colors of those card backgrounds. So let me scroll down. All right, let me look at what's happening here with the CSS background. Let's get this color. All right. That's already an improvement just by removing it, in my opinion. But, you know, how can we make this better? So I gave it the same background color, the cards, as the background is sitting. That's why it looks like it's gone. We could make it slightly darker. Look at that. That's all you got to do. Just pull that color, the hue slider down just a little bit, make it a little bit darker. There you go. Could we go lighter? See, because we're in the purple range. If you go lighter, maybe you want to adjust the hue slider. But honestly, I probably wouldn't go lighter with it. I'd go a little bit darker like this. That way you kind of increase the contrast a little bit. All right, so this is what I would suggest, something like that. This is what was there before. If we take that off, you could see it's just like sometimes if you're not a very skilled designer, you can look at your work and you're like, what the hell is wrong? Why doesn't this look good? And that happens because maybe you're inexperienced. Maybe you don't have a lot of time yet behind, working, building out UIs. But to somebody who's truly skilled and has been doing this a long time, we see immediately what can be improved. So what is the solution if you're in the boat and you're somebody who's new? You just have to learn. You have to practice, and make sure you're networking with really skilled designers and you are taking a look at their work. You're taking courses and you're understanding UI principles and fundamentals, and trust me, you'll get there for sure. All right. So thank you for the super chat. Hopefully that was helpful, some of what I've mentioned. Let's go back here. Check out the comments. What tool would you recommend? Let's see, just a minute. Project-based learning or buy course complete it, then make projects. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but a lot of my courses, you know, I don't just teach features. I teach tools by building projects that you would build with those tools. Does that make sense? So, yeah, let's check out a few more, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. So let me go to. Sometimes I get brain farts. I'm like, where the hell am I going? Let's go to. Oh yeah, JVS. I redesigned my website a while back. It's simple, but I like it. JVS, by the way, is my co-founder, I guess I could say, in designcourse.com, the developer. All right. Super simple, JVS. You've taken the simplistic route. You're not doing stuff like full Rive layouts, which is okay, like me. Working on the full experience rather than one part. I'm JVS, full step. Design course, that's right. You better put design course. Nito.js, collection of composable tools. What's Nito.js? I don't even know. Oh, I kind of remember this design. Nice. Very nice. Wait, what is that select the site thing? Oh, okay. Never mind. That wasn't part of the actual. Yeah. You know what, Javis, are you even freelance? I haven't talked to Javis in a while. This is the state of my business. Yeah. So I'm kind of, this is just a very simple hello, and it works. I think JVS is employed though, so it's not necessarily like a freelance portfolio. Let's see here. Other questions? Any tips for moving from an hourly rate to fixed price? The more efficient I have become, the less I'm earning rather on hourly. Yeah, hourly rates has always scared me, especially like when I was doing freelance work. Obviously, I am going to be very shortly. But back in the day when I was doing freelance work, I always charged per project. And I like that because there is no surprises for myself or for the client. But I'm going to be honest with you. Since I have never charged per hour, I wouldn't be a good person to ask about that. I'm sure that a lot of people have gone back and forth and be a little bit more knowledgeable in that regard. But for me personally, I do like charging per project. That simply means, though, when you do per project, you have to collect as much information as possible upfront so that you can give an accurate price. That's the biggest thing that you'd have to focus on. Having a system, a form, where you really get all the details as much as possible. All right. So T20S Grunt, I am not going to skip you. We're going to check out your work for sure. Well, where did you submit it? Oh, it must be on Twitter, or on X rather. Now, is T20S Grunt, like, is that your name on X or not? I don't know. Oh, look, I'm watching myself live. That's weird. Let's see here. There we go. I'm just kind of looking through these real quick. I don't know who you are. I'll go check the comments real quick. But yeah, we're going to wrap up real soon. Fluid. Okay. I'm going to check it out right here. Fluid create. Oh, shoot. 1 second. You don't see my screen right now. I'll show my screen in a second. Fluid Creative STL. Okay. All right, Fluid. I have no clue what's happening here. Oh, okay. I thought that was a random animation, but I scrolled down by accident. I was like, okay. For fluid. All right. What happens when I scroll down? All right. So we've got down this far and all I see is fluid. Yep, that's cool. But that's kind of like a little bit too much of nothingness and being in the dark. How many times did I have to scroll down? Like how many revolutions on my mouse scroll wheel did that take? 1, 2, 3. All right. So if you're going to do something like that, make it quick and maybe make it automatic and maybe not tie it to scroll position. We can help with web design, custom branding, WordPress development. So this section, I think, would definitely need some work because there's a lot happening here, a lot of type kind of sandwiched right here. And there's hardly any white space to the left of your layout. And that can kind of help, that causes problems with framing and, you know, not having that white space, especially around important elements like that. Oops, I just screwed that up. There we go. Let's scroll down and check something else out. All right, so we have a large project example, not clickable. Although this isn't a project example. I think this is just kind of like a graphic. Let's build something great. All right, so like something like this, when I'm scrolling down, I'm seeing, you know, it feels like there's not much of a layout structured here for this type. You're going all the way across the browser at a 4K resolution browser all the way. I do like that you did at least add white space here on the left and right when it's large, but you don't have that same white space even right here. And this is still a large desktop viewport. So think about that. Cool little mouse effects here. This is probably done with something like Unicorn Studio or something like that. Scrolling down, checking this out. All right, I like that you integrated video here and a guy with a man bun. I cannot talk shit about the man bun. Look how long this hair is. It's like a rat's nest right now. Anyway, continuing, laughing at my own jokes. Loser. Blake Parton Law. Yeah. All right. Yep. Get a little bit of work there on that one. Be fluid. You know, it would be cool if you did something like this. Animate it on scroll, like have them like literally kicking in that direction. That would be fun. Simple to integrate. Ask Cursor to do it. Obviously, he would have to be like a transparent graphic on top of the type moving. You could use a GreenSock animation platform to make that thing move over there. That thing, the graphic rather, the person. So yeah, definitely some work that you can do to modernize this in terms of the UI. Definitely. Okay. I'm an idiot. Let's redo that again real quick. Sorry. This is what I was talking about. The fluid graphic where it takes a lot of time. See, this is why I need to get my streaming set up better because I'm only working with one monitor because it's away from my other monitors. So there's 3 other monitors in the corner. So I can't see if anybody's saying like, hey, dumbass, we can't see your screen. All right. So this is what I was referring to. Fuck, man. I spent a lot of time like just talking and you guys couldn't see shit. Sorry. All right. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of like nothingness until we get to this point. And you know, this is the headline type that I was talking about here. This section as well kind of just seems like there's not much kind of layout occurring here. It's just kind of slapped on. Just continuing on down. I didn't really say much about these cards, but I did like this video section here. Wait, there was animation. I was thinking this did not occur. And I was like, hey, that would be cool if you had him like slide in. But it wasn't obvious to me because it happened too fast. Make that more obvious and slow it down. That way, you know, once I scroll by, I can see, oh, that dude's doing a kick. Be fluid. All right. Sorry about that. That was ridiculous. All right. Yeah. Let us one more time check out designcourse.com. There's always coupons, by the way. If you want to learn Rive, which I've been going deep into lately, I have Green Thumb and Project ATH. These 2 courses you can take right now. The coolest one is Project All Time High. And I have a new one that's coming out in a few days. This is the one that you're going to learn how to build. You can actually check it out yourself. For those of you who have tuned in later in this stream, I've already mentioned this before, but if you go to if you go to my site, designcourse.com, click Project ATH in the training section, and click View Project, you'll see this. Click Full Experience, and then you'll see what we're going to be, the kind of crazy UIs we are capable of now with the new tools like Rive and even though Spline's not here, but like Rive, Spline, Unicorn Studio, you can really create some next level stuff that we're going to start to see here. That's why I'm getting excited about design again and having a lot of fun with these new tools. So definitely check that out. And again, I'm releasing a course right now every month, and they're project-based courses. And then the one that I'm releasing in a few days is 3 different skeuomorphic Rive-based projects. In one of them, we have GreenSock integrated with a cursor, and they're both communicating. So I'm excited about that. Make sure you follow me to get notified when that course releases. And, don't sleep on tools like Rive and Spline, because I think they're going to be big players going forward in this new realm of no-low code and AI tooling. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.